Namaskar, dear students. It's so great to see you again. Uh, in our series, we have learned many things. So today, I have thought a new thing. That is to say, since it's the rainy season, I request specifically to all my students and whoever is listening this video lecture of mine today to go and plant new uh, trees and sow some seeds so that you may benefit the environment as well. And please do not forget to switch off the tube lights and the fans, which are unnecessarily uh, wasting the electricity if you are not sitting in the room. So please do post your comments as well as please do tell what good deed you have done today, so that we may be continuously in touch, so that I may know that you are doing something good these days. So let's continue our topic, which was under the Right to Information Act. We were learning the various definitions. So today, under Section 2I, we will be learning and understanding the definition of record. The definition is provided in the Bear Act. You can study that from it as well. But let me give you an in-depth analysis of the definition, that what effects that this definition can actually have. Okay. So what do you mean by record? What is record? Yes, it is the same record which you are creating in the office. Yes. So whenever you are going to file an RTI, you will be filing it against a public authority, okay, over a public authority, and you will be asking for some information which will be stored in the form of a record. Okay. So in order to file an RTI, you must first of all understand what is a public authority, which I have explained to you people in the previous lectures of mine. Now let's move on to the subsequent thing, and let's understand what is a record. So record is basically a document, manuscript, or a file. So what is the same? Document can be any kind of document, okay, which is produced in the common day-to-day office affairs. So you can ask for such records by filing a RTI. Similarly, what is a manuscript? A manuscript can be a printed and a written piece of information. Okay, so that is stored in a piece of paper. So you can ask for that record as well. Similarly, the files also form a part of a record. So therefore, you can also ask for that. Now let's understand the various other dimensions of the definition of record. These are: a record may also be a microfilm, a microfiches, and a facsimile copy of the document. What is a facsimile copy of the document? That is to say, an exact copy of the document. Further, it can be also, that is to say, a record can also be a reproduction of the image or the images contained in the microfilm, whether enlarged or not. Okay, so the parts, the various images of the microfilm also consist the record. And lastly, any other material produced by a computer or any other device is also a record. Therefore, various documents which you have created in the computer, or the presentation which you might have created, or any other thing which you have created in an office desktop or laptop, it also consists of record, and it can be asked in the right to information, okay, in the exercise of the right to information. Further, the any other document can which is created by any other device, like for example the hard disk which is contained in your office almirah, which might be placed anywhere, also consists the record. Similarly, the printout given by the computer, that document is also under the definition of record, it is covered. And also the server containing the various files of your office also is covered under the scope and ambit of the definition of record. So it is a very wide kind of definition. It contains a lot of various lot of things. So various aspects of a record are covered now. So let's now understand the definition of right to information, which is provided under Section 2J of the Right to Information Act 2005. The right to information means the right to information which is accessible under this act, that is to say, under the Right to Information Act. So, right to information is a right to information which is accessible under this act, which is held by or under the control of public authority. Okay, so if any information is under the control of public authority, then you can obtain even that information as well. For example, if let's say now the various airports are privatized, okay, we commonly do use that term, but specific term is those airports are leased. So if we are understanding that, so if we want any information which is not a critical and any secret information which cannot be shared with, if it is a general kind of information, then you can even have the information of the leased out airports. Okay, so the public authority can obtain those information because it is under the control of that public authority. Okay, so right to information means this, as well as it includes the right to inspect any document, work or record. Okay, you can even take the extracts of those works, you can take the certified copies of the works or the document or the records, or you can ask for the certified samples of the records, work or documents again. And you can even take the information in the form of diskettes, any floppy disk or any other electronic means, if the data or the document or the file is stored in a computer or in any other device. So you can ask for it and you can obtain it, and thereafter you can act accordingly. And now the last definition which we shall be dealing in this part is under the section 2N, and that is the definition of third party. A third party is a person other than a citizen who is seeking the information, and it includes the public authority as well. So this is the definition of third party. Moving on to next chapter, that is chapter 2, which contains the right to information and obligation of public authorities. Under it, we will be studying that right to information is available to all citizens, and it is only subject to the limitations which is imposed under this act and to no other limitations. And thereafter we'll be studying the various obligation of public authorities, that they must maintain the records properly and in a duly indexed manner, and in a time bound manner. They must suo moto disseminate that information in a means which is popular. Okay, so that the people can have access to that information. So it is a right as well as a duty. It is a right of a citizen, and it is a right and it is a duty which is imposed upon the public official. So we have studied in jurisprudence that the right as well as duties go hand in hand together. So where there is a right, there is a duty. This is a very good example in the Right to Information Act. Section 3 on one hand deals with the right, and Section 4 deals with the duties. Thereafter, we will study that the information, if at all it is seeked, okay, prima facie, the information must be disseminated itself. Okay, so the public official must itself ensure that the information is suo moto disseminated to the public at large. It may include the various procedures which are adopted in the dealing of various matters which are subjudiced before it, as well as various duties, functions and powers of the public officials, and their salaries, their remuneration. These things must be disclosed. Okay, so a very good example of this is if you have seen the website of various government departments. So under the various menus provided in the website, you might see a section which is RTI. Okay. Also you might find the various details of the different employees, such as contact us. So this is made a duty, and it is created as an obligation under the rigors of RTI Act Section 4. Thereafter, you might deal that if the information is seeked through the exercise of right to information, then it must be provided within a fixed time span. That might be in 30 days. Either you have to provide that information, or you have to reject the application. You must take action in a time bound manner. Similarly, if the information is dealing with the life and personal liberty of any person, then what happens automatically is you must expedite the providing of the information, and it must be provided within a time span of 48 hours. So, okay, you can very well utilize this provision and get the information in a time bound manner. Further, we will study in this chapter the various exemptions from disclosure. Okay, so on the basis of the ground of sovereignty and the friendly relations with the other states, you can always refuse the information. Thereafter, you will deal with the third party information and the various other things. Okay, now let's move on to section 3. So section 3 reads as, subject to the provisions of this act, all the citizens have the right to information. Okay, so the right to information is provided to all the citizens, first thing. Okay, so I will ask you a question in this regard, and that question is whether a non-citizen can seek information under the Right to Information Act. Again, another question, whether a company or association of people, whether these people can seek for information. Okay, now answer it accordingly in the comment box. Okay, so I think the hint that all the citizens have the right to information is sufficient for you people to get the answer of it. Okay, thereafter you must see that the Right to Information Act lays down the restrictions, and nowhere else any other restriction will be imposed upon this right. Okay, and you must always remember that every act is subject to the constitutional law of the land. Okay, so it will be always automatically be subject to the provisions of that act, and it will be tested on the anvil of the law of the land. Okay, but other than that, no other restriction can be imposed upon this act. That is the beauty of this act. Okay, so the restrictions which are imposed on this right to information will be only the restriction which is provided under this act itself. In the end, I would like to thank to my listeners and to the subscribers, and most importantly the students who have been listening so patiently, and there has been no disturbance at all whatsoever. So I would like to request you people to distribute and to spread the videos more and more, and to subscribe, like and comment on the videos. Thank you, dear.